Ar4 is a project that using AR to explore space in 4th dimension. First of all, what is 4th dimension? Let me explain it all the way from 0 dimension. 0 dimension is a point, because it is going nowhere. As soon as we force it to move in one direction, it becomes 1 dimension and forms a line. Usually, we label this direction as X. When we force it into another dimension by bending the line into a new direction, Y, it becomes 2D and forms a plane. When we force the planes into another dimension by folding them into a new direction Z, it becomes 3D and eventually forms a cube. Now we can repeat the folding, but this time, instead of planes, we are folding cubes into a new direction, let's call it L direction, and eventually it can form a 4D object, tesseract. You might wondering, the cubes are now overlapped and it is not possible to have a geometry like this. Well, imagine these cubes are in different layers in Rhino. They are at exactly same XYZ coordinates, but in different layers, and none of them would affect each other. Now, what does 4th dimension do with this project? This project allows humans, which are 3-dimensional creatures, to explore the 4-dimensional world, and here is how. Imagine you are a 1-dimensional creature that lives in 1-dimensional world. You only move in X direction and will pass through a point every day. One day, you decide to break into 2-dimensional world for a second and turn to the Y direction. Now, you are in another dimension world that would have no interfere with the original one at all. Now imagine you are a 2-dimensional creature living in 2-dimensional world. You can move in X and Y direction, and you walk past a line every day. One day, you decide to break into 3-dimensional world for a second and turn to the Z direction. Now, you are in another 2-dimensional world that is not interfere with the original one. Finally, we are 3-dimensional creature in a 3-dimensional room. We pass through a plane in the room multiple times, but this time, we decide to go through this plane and face into another 3-dimensional world, which is only exists in digital. For that moment, we break into 4th dimension and went to another 3-dimensional world that is not interfere with the physical dimension we live in. And this is Project Ar4. At certain location of the building, you would enter and experience another 3-dimensional digital world with AR technology, and finally break into the 4th dimension.